Hi guys, and welcome back to the Psychic Sleuth channel. So today we're gonna be doing a case that's been suggested, and she wanted to put it on YouTube, so here it is, and she's gonna be sitting in for the reading. We decided to do it this way and see what we get, how we do. So all the ways to support the channel are down below, but liking, subscribing, clicking the share button and the copy button, even if you don't share it out, but it'd be lovely if you did. Those are all ways to help the channel in free ways, because it's free to subscribe. So if you want to book, I am doing Wednesdays, or any other ways that you would like to support the channel, my book and whatnot, all of those links are down below in the description box. And I'm going to go ahead and explain how I work. If you already know and you don't want to listen, then you may fast forward. So information that comes in can be past, present, or future. So any point in anybody's lives. Things can be symbolic, metaphoric. It's not always literal in how I see it. Spirit will often use my references, experiences, how I relate to things to try to explain what they're wanting to say. As I get information, Samantha's going to validate yes and how it makes sense. If it doesn't make sense, she's just going to be like, okay, and hang on to it. We're not saying no in this situation because we don't know what fits and what doesn't fit, as this is a case and it's an ongoing situation. So we take everything and we hold on to it, and I try to perceive it the best way that I can, but I may misperceive things. Because I am just translating what Spirit's giving me. I'm having to translate a lot of different things at one time. So I don't seem to talk as fast when I channel this way, but if I do, know that that's what a medium does. You're welcome to slow me down at any time via the settings. So also keep in mind that things can happen around the case and whatnot. And it can be at any point in the case. It can be around the perp, around the victim. And sometimes I do get interconnects. So sometimes I try not to, but sometimes they'll bring in things with timing and other interconnects. Names especially will do that. I actually know nothing about this case at all. I've never even seen it before until Samantha has brought it to me. So I know nothing of it, but it is somebody from her hometown, and I guess they're wanting some answers on it. Now, as I say, I can never promise anything, but we're gonna do the best that we can, and just give what Spirit gives is all I can do. So please don't argue with the reading. Let's respect Spirit, because a lot of people, I understand, have their own opinions, but this is straight from Spirit, so let's respect that in the comments and respect each other in everyday lives. I would sincerely appreciate that. We try to keep this as high vibrational as possible, even though we're talking about cases. And everyone is innocent until proven guilty. This is for entertainment purposes only. Viewer discretion is advised. I think I kind of went over everything, so I'm gonna go ahead and bring Samantha on, and we'll go from there. There she is.
Hi.
Okay. And her name is Nikki McCain, right? Nikki.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. I'm getting a lot of stuff at one time, so I need this to slow down a little bit, because it's like it feels like a bunch of visions all at once of different situations, and I'm just need her to slow down a little bit. Okay, do you know one big thing that's coming in when I asked her to slow down was arguing. So I keep hearing a man and a woman arguing at some point, and that can be at any time. But there's like a back and forth sort of arguing or argument that I keep hearing in my head.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you know if there was anything relevant to the night she disappeared in regards to that, or this is just like in general of the relationship?
In general, the
Okay.
relationship.
She shows me grabbing bags and leaving. So at one point, was she actually going to walk out and leave? Or was she planning on it? Do you know?
I don't know exactly, but I, I'm pretty sure because of the situation with
Okay.
what happened.
Because it's almost like I feel like I've hit a ceiling. Enough is enough. And I don't
Yeah.
know if there's something related to also like how like her culture or how she was, that like you know, you don't want to leave your husband, you don't want to get a divorce, like that kind of feeling. But it was a point where she's had enough, and she shows me like packing bags, like leaving, even if it was just an intention where she was headed at that point. I hear, okay, so there's a reference to like nighttime or evening, and I also hear the word story. Like, so I don't know if someone made up a story regarding where she went, because it feels like there's a fabrication of a story, but I hear she just straight up says story.
Yeah.
Do
So,
you know what the nighttime comes in at?
yeah,
Okay.
it's basically the last communication was at nighttime, like midnight or so, to her
Okay.
sister. And then, yeah, the husband has told like 3 different stories
Okay.
about where she went or whatever.
Also, her packing the bags and leaving could be his story, his fabrication story, because I think I forgot to mention things can have multiple meanings, so we can take things a couple different ways. So it could be both of those things. Like, he said that she walked out,
Yeah.
which is usually how it is. I don't feel like she would ever walk out, leave her family, anything like that. Um, we had the blue light coming on here. Okay, go off, go off. So, all right. I really feel there was an argument this night, over something like stupid. Um,
So I
I
know
feel like
there was an argument, but it had to do with something big that happened. Type, if you know what that like.
right, but I'm feeling like they also had arguments over little stuff too. It's almost like a spiral of events. I don't know if that makes sense. Like
Mhm.
a spiral of things that were going wrong. Um, but was there someone that was like stepping out? Do you know?
I
Even
don't know.
emotionally, I just hear the word cheating, and I don't know what. I don't know how she means that. I don't know how she means that.
I don't
What,
know.
or if it was a conversation, or even if it was just something that was thought.
Mhm.
Um, because I just heard that word. So I'm feeling a little like woozy and out of it. My chest feels like I can't breathe. Uh she just said he's a liar.
Yep.
And I think everybody knows that, but I just heard those words. Um she's giving me the word blow up. So again, I feel like there was a situation that maybe started off smaller but got bigger. That's the way I want to take it. And then it kind of blew up.
Yeah.
That's that's kind of how it's like making me feel. Um and there's a lot of back and forth here. Also, I get the word divorce. So either she was thinking about divorce, or it's coming in that way.
Yeah.
Because I think that was her intended, like, you know, she wanted a divorce, or there was going to be a divorce. That was the intended outcome. Because I feel like he's very manipulative, can't even talk, narcissistic, and controlling. All of those behaviors are kind of there. And it's almost like she's saying, like, she couldn't have her own life anymore. And I don't feel like it was always like that. I feel like he was a very smooth talker to grab her and keep her for a little bit. And then, like, all these different behaviors started. Um, And I keep wanting to cough, so I feel like there's something chest throat related here. And I keep also getting a reference to like her bedroom for some reason. But there might have been like a blow up that led up to this, but I don't know if something escalated in the bedroom. Keep seeing the bed. And I also, and my head is hurting now too. It's almost like it feels like there's a violent attack with head trauma and to where I can't breathe. Okay. Like a choking, smothering, choking. I feel it's more like choking because this was very personal. It's almost like he loses it. Like all of these behaviors and everything just like hits a boiling point. That's the way that it's coming across, and things just went too far.
Yeah.
And I feel like he'd abused her before. At least this night there was some abuse but I hear a slap. Like he had slapped her before. There might be more there, but I can hear how that would sound.
Yeah.
So do you know if it got physically violent prior to this?
Yes. So back in December, he severely beat her, like really
Okay.
bad.
Okay.
And
That's what's coming across.
yeah. And so she had called the police on him, and they took a report. She was at the hospital, took a report, all that. And then court was supposed to come up, but
Okay.
she went missing.
So that's what the divorce thing is, and her leaving and all of that. Like that's in the beating up. It's like all entwined in this whole situation, right? Because she's showing me like he was very physically abusive, like hair pulling, slapping, punching. Like I keep getting. Do
Hmm.
you know if like her eye was swollen, like really
Yeah.
bad, like swollen shut? Because she keeps showing me like her eye swollen, like almost swollen shut. So I kind of keep getting that. Like a lot of it was to her face, and this was all out of the dude. He's lost it. He's severely lost it. You know this. You know what case they're referencing right now? Because sometimes they'll do that to say, "Oh, it's similar to this." I don't know if you've seen that case recently where like the car was parked in. I think it was like in um an like a park or a national park or something, and she was like in the car. He had unalived
Oh,
her.
Gabby Petito, that one?
No, 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 no. It was recent. It's a recent one. He actually was in jail and they let him out. The judge let him out and they told him if you let him out, he's gonna come after her. And they let him out anyways, and he came after her. It's recent and I cannot remember her name because they found her really fast. But I want to say they were both in the car.
Huh, yeah, I
I
don't
think
know which
maybe
one.
she was like in the trunk or something. I can't remember the name of it, but it's very similar to that. Like because she was going to testify, he was supposed to go to jail. Like it's that kind of situation where life would be over. But it's almost like at the same time too. I feel like she was trying to leave that night. So I don't know if there was a conversation with sister about leaving or feeling unsafe or anything like that because that's kind of how it's coming across.
Yeah. Yeah, and I
Um,
do know the sister, she had reached out to her sisters prior and like told them what was going on. So yeah, there was messages to her sister about her and him, like the fights and stuff.
and I'm also kind of feeling like the only reason she was like was there a restraining order?
Yeah, it was in place.
I'm
So
trying to figure out why they were even in the same house.
exactly. They shouldn't have been around, but they were. But yes, there was an active restraining order in place.
Okay, because she's saying like she didn't really know how to leave or where to go because I don't know if she didn't have the funds or something, but I also get this threat of if you leave I will kill you.
Hmm.
So it's almost like a staying out of fear and trying to figure out how to escape with my life. That's what she's giving me about that situation. I don't know why they're like shooting Chris Watts at me like he's like that type of vibe. So just that type of like he's not who people think he is. He might show one, like he has two faces. Like he's this kind of mean, um, person that has a really bad anger problem and all of that on one side, and then the other, he doesn't show that to people. I get
Yeah.
like a cross between, like, you know what? So this is, they keep just keep referencing cases to me so that I kind of understand the situation. Like I've done readings like this before, and this person has not been proven guilty yet, but I'm going to bring in this case, Suzanne Morphew. And when Barry went and talked on, they're showing me that clip of his talking and giving a story, and his story being kind of ridiculous. So there might be cues if they have put this guy on camera that are similar to those cues. If you know what I mean, like they're referencing both of them being on camera is how I see it. So I'm just wondering if she's referencing like the stories that he's given, or like there's something, he's been on camera and he's made mistakes, in other words.
So there was video footage of him walking into the courthouse one day, and the
Mhm.
sister said, "Where's my sister?" And he just was like, "I don't know," and like shrugged his shoulders and was like, "I don't know." And then he walked by like flipping, doing that to the cameras.
But I'm wondering too, have they interviewed him at all
Nope.
on camera?
Nope.
Unless it's gonna come later, but if not, like if anybody did, there would be like those kind of similar cues. Like that's what I'm getting a relation to, is both of those times those guys were on camera. You watch their body language and stuff. I think she's giving me like abuser, somebody that's hiding something, body language vibes that you would
Yeah.
see if he was to go like on interviews or whatever. Like it's just like a reference to those two people
Uh-huh. Yeah, that makes
for
sense about
whatever
showing
reason.
different sides to certain people. Yeah.
Yeah, because they tend to reference cases to me so that I can kind of sort of understand the situation or even the personality of the perpetrator. It's kind of interesting.
Hmm.
So yeah, it's basically like he lost it, you know,
Hmm.
over the whole situation, and decided to take her out of, like, take his problem out.
Yep.
Um and it's interesting because I didn't know anything about this, and you asked me about it, and I was like, well, it's the man that's involved in the situation. I was feeling like husband or boyfriend. I don't know anything about this. But there's a couple things that's coming in about location, because it's almost like at the same time, like there might not be a whole lot of physical evidence because of the way that, I mean, there could be minuscule. I feel like there was cleaning up done. I don't know if they've gone in there with any type of black light or anything, because I get like a reference to blood, like little pieces of like little spots of blood splatter, like that has been tried to be cleaned up. So that's coming in. Like I don't know if forensics has one in his house, but if they do, it's like they need to use the luminol and do all that, because I feel like because I feel like he basically, there's a head trauma, beating, and then strangulation. Like I feel he used his hands. I feel like he had weapons, but this was that type of, because I keep getting reference to a firearm, but it's not coming across as, or a pew pew. It's not coming across as like he really. I mean, he could have used it, but I'm not seeing that, because I can keep seeing like, so like basically a replay of what happened before.
Yeah.
It
Yep.
because he likes to use his hands, and he would go off and just like he can't stop, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Do you
He
know if there's
does
alcohol
have,
or anything involved with him?
yes.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah, big partier, I guess you would say.
Yeah, because I'm getting substances. Like she shouldn't have even been with this guy. This guy is like, but still, he charms people and makes like, or he thinks he charms people. He's one of those people that's like, he thinks he's pulling the wool
Yeah.
over everybody's eyes, if that makes sense. And
Yeah.
and no one's falling for it. It's just there's something about a camera though, that had caught something. Not the situation we're talking about. There's got to be a different one.
Um so for that, it's it's hard because everybody's like, check cameras, check cameras, check cameras, but literally nothing has came out. Um, I know as far as like cleaning, when you said if cleaning like a blood, there was a picture taken of his mother's house where they were caught in the garage cleaning. And then also, I believe the police did a search warrant on that house and did confiscate one vehicle. And then also the cameras around that. That's like the big thing everybody's been wanting to know is like, where's the camera
there's
footage?
some kind of camera footage somewhere, and I don't know if it's like the
Mm.
stoplight, if it's the neighborhood, if it's like a store next door. There's some kind of camera because she keeps showing me video surveillance that maybe hasn't been come across yet, or somebody accidentally deleted. I don't know, but there's definitely some kind of camera footage. And I was gonna say, when you're talking about a car, and we're going back to that other case, I mean, they used a car to transport the body, so in the trunk. So that could be another reference for that. Okay, so I keep kind of getting like a reference to like an area because I feel like she's actually not far off a road. Because I keep getting a reference to a road, like, and it doesn't feel like it's like a heavily traveled road. It feels like it could be, either like how the like two lanes are. It doesn't feel like it's a huge freeway, but I can hear cars passing by. So it feels more like a 2-lane or one of those little kind of roads.
Okay.
You know what I mean? More like
Yeah.
remote area type road, not like middle city.
Yeah.
Um, and so I would feel like I would want to leave from wherever that is. And I hear the words "he had help." So do you know? I know you're
Ooh,
talking about cleaning.
girl. Ugh, that one just got me.
Yeah, I got
Um,
chills with that one. But
yeah, me too. It's to be believed that yes, there was help. But like I said, like nothing is coming out about this
it's
one. That's
it's
what's
not
so hard.
it's not really it's not the help of unaliving her. It's the help of trying to cover things up afterwards. It's
Yes.
accomplice after the fact. And like you're saying, his mom, I really do think like his mom helped kind of cover it up. I don't know if there's
Oh
anybody
my
else involved, but it
gosh.
feels like it's a female. It feels like it's a female. I keep getting a female energy. So if he's not seeing anybody else, I would say that mom was helping with that because they keep showing me that. And I'm curious if the cards, because sometimes we haven't pulled cards yet. I want to do that, but they keep showing me male and female card together. So, and I feel like a
So
female energy kind of involved in some way, but it's almost like accomplice after the fact, you know?
yes, yeah. Um, and that's what is the last known thing from Nikki that she texted her sister. Driving, I'm taking my mother-in-law's car back to her house. So
Okay.
the that's the last thing that's ever been
I'm
heard
wondering
from
if
her.
the bedroom from before was like the first attack,
Yeah.
because like I said, I might be getting different parts of like the whole situation. So,
Yeah. I think the first one in December was, yeah, the bedroom, like their house.
yeah, because I keep getting referenced like the bedroom area, but um, why do I feel like I wonder if there's also some sort of weapon. Like I feel like I'm hit like in the back of the head. Like this is coming from like out of nowhere. I don't know if like I get out of like almost like get out of the car and then like I'm hit with like it feels like something metal, like
Mm,
something you would have in the garage.
yeah.
I mean,
I
there
get what
may
you're
be
saying.
multiple things because I do feel like I do feel like he had weapons, so that's why I'm kind of like
Yes.
torn. But this feels more hands-on to me in a violent attack.
hmm Yeah.
But it's almost like I'm blindsided. I feel trapped.
Mhm.
This was a trap.
Oh my gosh.
I just got the ugly chills. And she keeps turning on this light back here. So I feel like she
Wow.
was lured to the mother-in-law's house for this to happen because It's
Oh
like I
my.
get out of the car and it's like bam. And then we go to there's another case, Jennifer Dulos has never been found, that was very kind of similar, happened in the garage. It's like that kind of feeling.
Uh-huh.
I don't know why she's referencing all of these cases, by the way, are husbands unaliving wives. So allegedly. So that's why she's
Yeah.
bringing it in. But I feel like that's where the accomplices, like, it's almost like she's also protecting her son. I just can't,
100%.
I
Yep.
can't really, okay, so I can't really see if it was like her or him, but it feels more like she's the help of the cover up, but he's the one that, because he has that
Yeah.
violent streak and stuff, you know what I mean?
Yes.
So there's a reference to also, that's why, okay, because I feel like that's the blood splatter then. I'm telling you, there's gotta be. Or like under, you know how sometimes, I don't know if like in this garage there's like cement, right? And then like in the, like, it could be like seeped into the cement, or like, you know, sometimes how there's like corners of something.
Yeah.
It's almost like that, like I'm getting that. Because I see female like trying to scrub, trying to clean up.
Yeah.
She's
There's
using
a
hydrogen peroxide. That's weird. Most people use bleach, which actually it doesn't do any good, but I'm getting like hydrogen peroxide for some reason. It's weird. But it's almost like it's weird. It's like I'm blindsided when I get out of the car. That's the
yeah.
way it's coming across. Like I was called there. This whole thing was like a setup plan. Like I'm getting like the word setup. Like she was set up.
Yeah, so apparently his brother had like a medical emergency and everybody met at the hospital for whatever. And then I'm assuming they called her and she met up as well. And then she was supposed to drive the mother-in-law's car back to the house and nothing since then. That's it.
This was
So
all
yeah,
set up. I'm not saying that the brother's involved in that way, but I'm saying the situation those two talked about. What I think that they, like, she knew the intentions. You know what I mean? But I feel like he
yeah.
was waiting there for her. I don't know. I don't think he like has a legit alibi. I think that there's a lot of stories and a lot of lies that are involved in this. But it's
Hmm.
almost like when I get out of the car, I'm turning, I'm hitting in the head, like I'm blindsided.
Yeah.
And there's a reference to like, um, so I kind of get, so the referencing cases again. Um, there's been a couple cases like, so Jen Dulos and Suzanne Morfu with like the trash, like trash bags being filled with stuff and taken different areas. It's almost like kind of that, like everything was put in a trash, and I don't know, like if he put it in a dumpster somewhere or he got rid of it, but I keep getting reference to like trash bags, not necessarily that she's in one, but that there was, you know, cleaning up and stuff, putting in trash bags and then taken when they took her somewhere. And then, but I keep getting like this, I don't know if it's like I hear painter's cloth. Do you know those like thick things that you lay down? Not the thick plastic kind, but they used to make them like cloth.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
I hear the word painter's cloth, and I don't know what the hell that is. But it's like you put it down to protect things from being paint. I don't know if they just had one in the garage or whatever it was, but it feels like it's like a thin but rough, like kind of like cloth material that's larger.
Okay.
I've never gotten that at a reading before, so I don't know, but it's like a light color, like grayish bluish feel
Mm.
to it, and it's like I'm wrapped up in that and kind of put in the trunk. Um but this would be an area. Do you know where he works at?
I don't think he was working currently. I,
Or
but I know.
someone, what about mom? Does any of them work? Because I keep getting reference to like
Yeah.
a workplace, and I don't know whose workplace that is.
So they are part of the Indian tribe, which the casino's right there. So, and they all, I know Nikki and Tyler at one point both did work at the casino, and I believe the mom is still part of the
Okay.
council or something with it.
So there's got to be something, because whenever I get location, it will revolve around reference points. A lot of times people will put bodies where areas that they're familiar with. And she's referencing a work as like not far from where she is.
Wow. Yeah.
So I don't know if they have searched around that area. I'm not saying she's like right behind the casino. I'm saying it's a reference point.
So, with it being tribal land, they like law enforcement and stuff can't just go on there and search.
That's the hard
I
part
guess
about it,
I
because of
guess they
the
did.
laws.
Yeah, I guess there was able to. They did give permission, but it was only a specific area and nothing else was allowed to be searched. So, but yeah, literally the casino is like 100 yards, 200 yards away from his mother's house. It's literally
That's really interesting. Okay.
right
So I
there.
could be getting that. I mean, now why did I pick that up? That's crazy. I could be getting that because it's a reference to like where she was unalived at, but I also kept feeling like I'm not like far from like the whole situation. It's not like I drove like miles, you know what I mean?
Yeah. And yeah, their house isn't too far either, I believe. It's their house isn't on Indian reservation, but it's no, I don't think it's too much further away from that area.
I'm just wondering if they put her on Indian reservation to make it harder to search.
Yeah.
Because
Very
that would
well
be the
could
reference
be.
of the work.
Yeah. And that is what, a lot of people think because they're not allowing searches to be done. They allowed like one and it was only a specific area. They're not just giving free reign like, yes, go search all the Indian tribe right here,
This is gonna
or
have
the
this is gonna
reservation.
have to be incognito. Someone's just gonna have to run across her.
Mm.
Which I keep getting a reference to the work, a road, and like again, I might not see it exactly, but it's the idea of it. So this could be, and that's why I was getting rural, right? Like a rural road. I mean, it feels paved. It doesn't have to be. I don't know if they have paved roads out there,
Yeah.
but it's like I'm not far off of. See, I don't think she's on the property because I feel like I'm put into a car, but at the same time, I'm not too far. I'm telling you that work is a reference point for where she's at. Like they know a spot like not far from the work.
Okay. So when she was reported missing, her vehicle was also reported missing, but that's been found.
Yeah, because I keep getting the vehicle, so they might have. Was that the one that they confiscated, or was it a
No.
different one? No. What
Yeah.
were they trying to say? Like she took off in her own vehicle or something? What
I don't
what
know.
story was that?
The husband's first story was she took an Uber, but there's no record of an Uber. So basically, after her saying, I'm driving my mother in law's car back to her house, nobody knows anything. They don't know if she took her truck and drove home, if she didn't take an Uber, because family figured that out, and
No,
there's
the
no
truck
record of
was
an
dumped.
Uber.
It was dumped.
Yes, yes, it
Wherever it was
was.
put, it was dumped. She was never in that. There's something about the seat not being the correct height.
Okay, yeah,
I keep feeling like I'm pulled back. Like you know how like when you sit in a seat, you pull back a little bit. It might just be a little bit, but it's not her height. They're referencing that. Because I don't know if her seats slide. I don't know if they slide or if they're the electric ones. I keep getting reference to like, when you slide the seat back, how that feels.
yeah,
Like she's saying, well, there we go again. Um, it feels like that's what she's kind of showing me. So that was dumped. It feels like
yeah,
I hear opposite. So it would be probably opposite of where
yes,
she is. It's going to be a totally different direction. So I don't know. Maybe they took it. Was it off of the reservation? Her
yes,
truck?
and
Okay.
yeah, it was
Because it's like,
like 30 minutes away or something like that. It was further away in the opposite direction. Yeah.
yeah, because they wanted to make it seem like she ran off and to kind of like lead a wild goose chase in that direction. Because I keep going opposite of where it's like she's this way, the car went that way.
Okay. Yeah.
Because they're trying to make it seem like she ran off or whatever, and then just something happened to her. Like, oh yeah, she dropped off the car, no big deal. She took her truck you know what I mean? So the truck
Yeah.
was there, but it's almost like she got out of the vehicle. She was attacked. She was put into that vehicle. Someone else when they came back from dropping the body, which they didn't go that far, somebody took the vehicle. Like, it's like two vehicles driving, one driving the truck, one following. That's why I'm wondering if like there's going to be more miles on that car, but like following, they're dropping that off in a specific place, like you
Yeah.
said, they're a ways away, and then pick up. That's why there's an accomplice, because someone helped him drive. He didn't like freaking go take the truck and then walk back. And she
Yeah.
didn't go like just running off. I don't feel like she wouldn't leave her sister or anybody else like that. I feel like her and her sister and her family were really close. She would never just take off and not, you know, say, hey, this is where I'm going, this is what I'm doing. Because you could say maybe she's running scared. A lot of people could say that she was scared for the situation. It doesn't feel like that to me, because I keep seeing an attack. And again, I never try to say if anybody is alive or deceased. I kind of just let the way that the reading shows me, but it doesn't come across as I took off. That's not her. That's not what she would do.
And her sister just recently made that exact statement. She wouldn't take off like this.
Yeah,
She wouldn't
she
leave her
wouldn't.
kids
And her sister
leave.
knows, like, her sister knows, like, this is what transpired, because she knows that she was like in fear for her life. And again, this was a setup. Like, it's almost like this was kind of planned. And they're like, it's almost like, let's go in opposite direction. So I don't feel like her body's anywhere. The way it's coming across is it's like body this way, car that way. Like, it's opposite direction. Let me just hit everything. She said tribal land, so I want to say she's on tribal land because of the searching, knowing that
Wow.
they can't get law enforcement to do anything. So, like I said, if she's gonna be found, it's gonna be like an incognito type thing. But I get a reference to like a lot of trees. So I feel like it's kind of like, I say wooded. Wooded is a lot of trees to me. So this feels like there's a lot of trees off of like a road that's not far from the casino. And I think I don't think like she might be covered or buried, because there's a reference to like a shovel being like, it's almost like I see her wrapped in that cloth I was talking about, and then like a shovel is thrown on top. So I don't know if there's areas out there where they could bury, like if it's like sandy or dirty or something. It kind of feels like it's kind of dusty, sandy. I don't know. Does that make sense of the area?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, there's lots of like trees and stuff, like wooded, like a lot of tree and stuff all over in that area and behind in the back of that area and stuff.
Because I feel like she's like not far off a road. It's almost like here's the road. So the way that I'm seeing this, if I'm not mirrored, okay, is like, here's the house, and then I'm driving on this road right from the house. You go up a little bit. I don't know if it's like within 3 miles or something like that. I'm getting kind of like that. There's like maybe like the casino. Like, okay, on this, I feel like it's on this side. I don't know if I'm right on that. I could be. I'm trying to remote view it, but I could be. Sometimes I get backwards. So if you continue going past that casino, I want to say like she's wooded area to the right, a little further up, like further up. Like, it feels like it's not far from that casino, but yet the area feels remote. I don't know if I'm making sense. Like, the area where she's at feels more remote.
Yeah, you are. Yeah. I think because it's kind of like secluded in a way. It's like the casino. And then if you drive back, it's like all the houses, but that's just the houses for the Indian like reservation area, And then
it's like I'm on the opposite side. Like, I want to go right instead of left. Like, say I leave the house, that's the direction I'm going. I'm not backwards, right? Like, it's like I leave the house, I go this way, casino's here, and the woods and stuff are on that side. It's like across from casino or opposite. I don't know if they've searched that area. Because I feel it's almost like I put because I keep seeing like this like the shovel like thrown in the back, like on top of her. I'm trying to be as gentle as I can. They get in the car, I hear 2 doors close. So I don't know if she's trying to insinuate something there. It's like I go out, I go down the road. It's like I'm there and back, not a long time. It doesn't take me long to go do that, and it doesn't feel like very deeply buried. It's just like enough to. I don't. It's weird that I'm even getting buried because I feel he's kind of lazy. Like it's almost like I would just like layer there, but at the same time, it's like I don't want anybody to find her because they know it's going to be me. So I do feel like he put because they keep throwing me that shovel. Like when things repeat, I know it's important, and I keep seeing the shovel like thrown on top of her. So we've already finished the reading, but we're talking, and I was seeing railroad tracks, so we wanted to edit that in that there's railroad tracks there, right?
Yeah, right next to the casino area, there's railroad tracks that go by.
I was getting railroad tracks, and I was hearing the train, so that's just it's significant for a reference point.
Yeah,
seems to be relevant because
I just know it's right there. It's right next to the casino.
Okay. Well, good, because that's just another validating thing that I mean, you could look near the railroad tracks, that area needs to be searched.
Yeah, because I want
like in the trunk. So, I'm wondering if like cadavers hit on that trunk. There's gonna be minuscule evidence in there, anyways. Like when they go over with the fine tooth comb, but like I get a reference to, like hair and like other things, but I don't know. Sometimes spirit gives me evidence that might be found, but like if they go over that trunk with like a fine, I keep getting like a longer piece of hair, like brown, like her color hair, like to show that she was in the trunk. But I'm curious, like if they took cadavers to that trunk, what they would hit on in that trunk, because anytime there's any type of body anywhere, usually a dog can usually hit on it if it's for any period of time.
As of right now, dogs have not been brought in.
Say that again.
As of right now, dogs have not been brought in to search.
Yeah, I didn't think they were. They're just showing me like if they brought dogs, that's what it's almost like they would hit on the car. And the whole reason that this whole thing is all screwed up is because he knew he was going to get away with it because he knows the laws. A lot of shit people get away with stuff on native land because of what the laws are. Can't bring law enforcement in, do this, do that. You know what I mean? You have to have some kind of proof, and the law enforcement has to be like, okay, yes, you can come in. Like there has to be, there's a whole lot of politics and stuff involved with that. So, and that's what he knows. Like, so it's like, I could do this and get away with it. No one's going to find her. Cops aren't going to come here. Like, so that's what sucks.
And his family is part of the council members.
Yeah, I was gonna say there, and I was gonna ask you if he was like someone kind of, or reconnected to someone kind of important.
Yeah, in a sense. Yeah.
And there might be like we kind of talked about this the other day, like if you continue to go past, like continue to go down that road, like you might hit like older abandoned buildings. I don't know if it's like abandoned homes or like cement buildings or something. Like if you keep going, it's almost like there's houses on this side, like, okay, like you said, casino houses, this side there's like nothing but woods, right? You keep going for a little bit, and then if you continue to go, you would hit like abandoned properties or something. Like that's the way I'm seeing it. I don't know if I'm making sense.
Yeah. Because I had asked somebody like about older cement buildings and stuff, and they did say, like out towards that area there is some, I believe.
Okay, that's a reference point. Like if you hit that, you're too far, but you might not be far from that. You know what I mean? It's like it's like if I want to give a radius, we go from the casino, like across from the casino, down to those buildings. That whole area needs to be searched in the woods.
Okay.
That's the way she's giving it to me. I mean, that's how I'm getting it, because that's why I think we put her on the reservation, because for one, nobody pays the freaking attention to it.
Yeah.
He could in like the cameras can be something at the casino, not necessarily that. I mean, I don't know what that would be, because I don't understand the camera thing either. Like now that we're saying it's a reservation, because I wasn't picking that up first.
There's like a big issue with the camera situation that's gone around social media.
Okay.
Like,
so that could just be what I picked up then.
Yeah, they're like, did the casino really give law enforcement the camera footage? Did they not? Where apparently wires were cut at one point prior
Yeah.
to the
Okay.
search of the Indian reservation that was done. I don't know. So that is like a big issue, is like camera footage from the casino. Where is it?
Yeah. And then I keep getting a reference to like dirt, like I don't know if like this main road like has like a split off little road. Because I keep getting like
Yeah.
you're going straight and then you like split off a little, you know what I mean? Like you would turn kind of off and kind of go into the wooded area, like because I keep getting tires on a dirt road and the dust, so I'm getting that too.
Okay.
I don't know if that
Yeah,
makes sense with
that
where
makes
I'm
sense.
describing.
Yeah, out on that out. If I'm thinking of the right like spot, then yeah, it makes sense. It's right there at the
Okay.
casino. Like,
It's like the
yeah, it
opposite
makes
side of the
sense.
casino, but you keep going and there's like a little dirt road that goes kind of off. Like I keep getting that, like it's like a split off.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, it feels like she's like I'm remote viewing this area, so like I don't know why she wouldn't be where I'm getting if all that's there.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? It's
Yeah, it just definitely needs to be searched. It's just hard with it being
well, yeah, and
Indian
that's what I'm saying.
reservation.
It'll have to be someone private. So, if you know anybody out there, have them go look in
Mm-hmm.
that area. You know what I mean? And if they have
Yeah.
any type of dog will pick up anything like that. They don't even have to be trained in it.
Okay. Yeah.
They're gonna pick it up. Just I'm walking my dog in this area. I don't know. I don't feel like that area a lot of people go to for some reason. It's not like it's a
Okay.
adventure spot or a hiking spot. You know, it's almost like just this random spot that you drive by.
Okay. Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's not like people
Somebody,
go in
yeah.
those woods and hang out.
Somebody needs to just take the risk and go do it.
And I don't know why I'm getting like a cross. Like, so sometimes when I get a cross, it's like could be like a place of worship. It could be like a cross is like a burial spot. So sometimes it's a cemetery, sometimes it's a burial area. I know I'm not really sure how natives like do that kind of stuff out there. Um do you know if there's like it can be like a cross off the side of the road where something happens or a place of memorial? I don't understand this. Just whatever a cross would represent. I don't know as far unless it's like something like with her, but I'm getting a reference to, are there any kind of cemeteries on the reservation or places where people
I'm not. I'm not 100% sure. I could try to look it up if you want. Um,
or like a spiritual area? I don't know what this is. It's almost like I see a hump with it, and I mean that could be her, but I'm not understanding the like being taken back to like the way that they used to bury bodies when they would like stack rocks, or you know what I mean,
yeah.
on
Yeah.
like movies. Like I'm kind of getting like that reference, and I don't know if it's like in relation to her or if it's relation to like not far from an area like that. I'm not understanding this at all. I mean, it feels like he thinks he's getting away with it because of the laws of
Yeah. That definitely makes sense. That makes
going
a
on
lot.
there. Like he's not even scared because of that.
Yep.
And she wasn't even protected in this situation. Like she should have been rescued in a sense. But
Mm-hmm.
and that's kind of like where the this alcohol and stuff comes into play, unfortunately, too. 'Cause I think that kind of fueled the fire. I don't know if he'd been drinking that day or what, but it's almost like a fuel to the rage or his personality. So I want to say he's kind of like an alcoholic, or there's substances here
Yes.
around him. It can be either or. It can be either or both. But
Yeah, like methamphetamine, I believe, was a big
yeah,
thing with him.
I was gonna say it. There's. Mm-hmm.
Hmm. Yeah, and also too with like how bad that fight was back in December, like what he did. That's another thing. Like everybody's like, how was he even let out after doing that to
Well,
her?
that's why that one case is coming in with the people, like how he kidnapped her and took her out into the woods and unalived her, and I
Mm-hmm.
think unalived himself, if I'm remembering how that went right. And I think that's why this coming in, because he should have never been let out. Like it was the
Yeah,
same exact situation, and so I
yeah,
think that's why that's coming in, is like there's a huge issue with, like, a piece of paper does nothing. Okay, so these
yeah,
types of situation, I always get the reference, like obsession, dark desires, like you're not going to leave me, that kind of obsessive feeling, um or for self-preservation, like sometimes it's they stalk them and do it, you know what I mean? So there's different reasons for them doing it, but they tend to, if they're not put in jail and the women are not protected, then they will go after them. So there
yeah,
needs to be more put in place to protect these women, and not just a piece of paper. Because I'm sorry, you're not going to hold up a piece of paper to someone coming after you and be like, look, I got this. What do they don't care.
yeah,
It does really
exactly.
nothing. And then a lot of times it's like you call about a restraining order and they're not there until it's too late. Like it's failed over and over again. There needs to be a better, um something better put into place.
Yeah, exactly. And then
And there's a
especially
lot
with
of indigenous women that are missing, and
yeah,
a lot of it is not and that was something I wanted to tap into, but I'd have to go through every single case, so it's really hard. But some of them are by the hands of their significant other. And the reason why there's so many missing and
mm-hmm.
that nothing's done about it is because we're talking about on the reservation, we're talking about the laws and not being able to check things out correctly, and then there's not awareness brought to it.
Yeah.
So, you know,
Yeah, and then especially with how this one is and how unfortunately, like, with it getting dismissed because she wasn't there for the court, it's now making females not even want to come forward
yeah.
because they're reporting it and then they go missing and, oh, okay, dismiss the case, whatever, it's sad. Makes them more scared to even come forward and report the abuse.
Mhm. Yep. And bigger guy, like not, I don't
Compared
know,
to
like
her, yeah.
wider
Like,
shoulders, like bigger guy, like
um,
I mean, everybody's big to me. I'm only 5'2", so I mean, he feels
oh,
like he's
yeah.
like either taller or just has wider shoulders or obviously stronger. But
Yeah, because it was like Nikki was only a 5 foot, like 100 pounds, and yeah, he was way bigger. Like I think he's like 6 foot, 6 foot or so,
yeah,
and
that's what I'm getting, is like he's like towering, like, and
mm,
that's usually whenever I get like a somebody that's taller than that, like they have wider shoulders, or like they just come off larger.
yeah. I
Did
mean,
he have did he have
what?
darker features?
He's like his hair is like brownish, brown eyes,
That's dark.
maybe
Yeah, that's
white.
that's that's what I mean for dark, like, because I'm trying to see him. I'm trying to
Mm.
get more about him, and that's what I was getting, like,
He's like grandchildren of them, so he's
so he's
white.
not
Well, looks white.
okay. But well, to
Yeah.
me, he's got brown hair, brown, like when I say darker features, that's what I mean, like brown hair, brown eyes, darker hair, darker
Hmm.
eyes.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's
I was gonna
brown.
ask
Brown
you
color.
about like almost balding or something. That was my next question, because it was like I was seeing him like both. So I don't know if he's ever shaved his head, but it's almost like I see him brown hair and then I see him bald. Brown hair, bald. Like they keep flipping it back and forth. So I don't know if he changes his hair. Like at
Uh-huh.
one time he had longer hair and one time like he shaved it. Like I keep getting a flipping of with his hair. That's why I'm sitting here questioning, like, wait, why am I getting both like hair and not hair? But it can be used both ways.
Yeah.
Okay, so I just got sent the what this guy looks like. I just want to intersect and put this in the reading in the video. And I was getting reference to Barry Morphew and Chris Watts. Dude, they look like this guy. I mean, originally, this guy looked like he had brown hair and brown eyes, but he started to gray kind of early. So if we look at Chris Watts and we look at Barry, they look very similar to this guy. It's like a mix almost. Both balding or bald, gray hair, gray mustache, gray beard. So I think Spirit was giving me them on video to kind of say, hey, the guy looks similar to this, which I didn't pick up until I saw the guy. I didn't see the guy. I didn't know anything about Nikki. I didn't know anything about any of this. So I just want to throw this in because I was like, whoa, now it makes sense. Like, it just hit me.
Yeah, right now, like most recently, yeah, it's like shorter, like
Does he have
baldish.
tattoos?
Not balding, but yeah, yeah, I believe he does. Did you say
So
him
yeah,
or
like
her?
him.
Yeah, I
I'm
think
getting
he
like
does.
tats on like the arms or something. There's like he looks
Yeah.
kind of like a scary dude. Like I don't know why she was with him. Like he has like the scary look to him. But again, it comes across as like when he wanted to be, he could pretend to be charming or somebody else that you wouldn't expect. You know what I mean? But he still has
Yeah.
like this kind of rough and tough look to him. Like you can tell that
Mhm.
he's done substances and stuff and he's into certain things too. Like I think
Yeah.
he might even be into like more more there more because I got a reference to, I don't even want to say this, but I was listening to something about like sometimes on the reservation, not all reservations, so don't come at me, not everything, but like how they're like helping the cartels and like also making like the D's or
Yeah.
narcotics, and so it's
Mhm.
almost like that kind of feel towards him,
Yes, definitely. He's, I believe, a
almost like,
dealer.
yeah, I was gonna
Yeah.
say I'm getting like that, but I'm also getting like he may like outsource to like cartel type people or gang type people. Just leaving that there. I don't come
Yes.
kill me.
No, no. Very interesting. That is very interesting you say that.
Yeah, I was kind of getting that vibe from him before, and I was like, oh, well, because
Yeah.
all the guys that like she was like I was getting a reference to, they weren't like not into that kind of stuff, but they're still manipulators, abusers, like unlive their wives. So it's
Uh-huh.
like that kind of, you know. But then there's like this. He's like, I don't even know why the hell she was with him because she's way too good for him. It's almost like I got in the situation and I got out, and I also feel like she might have dabbled too, um, into those things at some point. I don't know if she still was or not, but
It's it's like gone around. I don't know if it's true or not, but that's been said as well. Yeah.
yeah. And it was just because she's in that lifestyle, and I feel like actually in the beginning of like I don't know if like when she met him or whatever, it's almost like he kind of forced it upon her a little bit. And so I feel like her addictions didn't really come from, oh, let me try it. It's more like him in a way, like I don't know, shooting her up or forcing it on her, like that kind of feeling, like it'll make you
Yeah.
feel good, like that kind of thing. Um, you know, and then it turned into more.
Yeah.
And also that might be a reason why she had a hard time leaving too. I feel like again she wasn't really sure where she was going to go, and unfortunately women on the reservation, where are they going to go, you know? um there's not a lot of help out there. They
Yeah.
can flee the reservation, but it's, you know, sometimes it's financial because I do a lot of I do readings for people that are in situations, and a lot of it is I can't leave my husband because I don't have the financial, you know, capabilities to take care of myself. You know, so I always
Yeah.
tell women like never depend completely solely on a man because you never know when you want to leave them.
Mhm. Yep.
Make
Very
sure you've
true.
got money saved or your own money or whatever because you might just need to get up and leave.
Yeah.
I think she just didn't have the resources, and then I also I keep getting a reference to like her confidence was like low, or because of what he'd done to her, because there's again a lot of manipulation. It's almost like I'm a prisoner in this relationship and I don't know how to go about it. Plus I feel like again there's addictions involved, so it's unfortunately a perfect storm in the way that everything kind of collided together,
Yeah.
if
Yeah,
that
that
makes
makes
sense.
a lot of sense. Yep.
I keep getting kids, but I don't know if she have kids or she did.
Yeah, they have 4.
Okay, because I keep getting a reference to children. I keep getting children around.
Mhm.
I know. Like she wants the children to go with their sister. Like he doesn't have custody, right?
Now the sister has the kids.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
That's the only validation I needed because she's like showing me kids with sister. I'm like, okay, good.
Yeah.
Perfect. She would rather them be with her. They're safer.
Yeah.
I mean, she's been pretty clear. I'm trying to see like what else I can get, but I think it's pretty straightforward. Like we can pull some cards to validate whatever. We can do that. They should. But now I'm like, I get very curious about cards, like what they're gonna show and what extra information they're gonna give when I'm done. But the biggest thing that she really wants is like she wants her kids to know like how much she loves them. Like I feel that's another reason she would never leave. She would never walk off and leave her kids like that. Never. She's like, I would never leave them, not for a minute. And I also am wondering, like, why do I feel? I don't know if I'm just I'm feeling ungrounded from connecting with her, or I feel high. Like I felt like that since we first started, and I just sometimes I'll feel it like if they have something in their system, and sometimes I'll feel it from the channeling. It's hard to tell sometimes.
Yeah.
I just feel a little out of it, and if she was doing that or whatever, then that could have been that night. It could have been at other points too, but
Mhm.
her biggest thing and I feel like this up and down with her too, like but she was at a point where she was done and she wanted to get her kids and leave. Like it had come to a breaking point where it was like, now me and my kids are in trouble. Like it's almost like he could be a family annihilator if he wanted to, going back to Chris Watts and the vision of that. Like she
Yeah.
was ready to get in, like because he would take it out on everybody but himself. Huge narcissist, right?
Yeah.
So she was ready to take her kids and go. Like she
Mhm.
was just trying to figure out how. And I feel like, she had her struggles, but she loved her kids. And that's the biggest thing, is she loved her kids.
Yep. Yep.
And that's another reason why she kind of stuck around. A lot of women stick around because they're like, well, I don't want to, like, I want to stay with my son's dad. It's like, you don't need your son's dad to raise your kids. If you're in a bad situation, you're showing them, and this is probably her message to other women, but you're showing them, like, remember, your kids are watching things, they're feeling things.
Yeah.
And
Exactly.
so they intuitively know what's going on. Don't just stay because of the kids.
Yeah.
And
Yeah. And there was like
that's not from me, but
I don't know if it I haven't heard it directly from the family, so I don't know how true it is, but there was something going around that apparently they didn't even have custody of the kids due to the constant fighting going on between
yeah,
them. So yeah, I don't know if that started with the December situation when he really beat
maybe.
her, and that's when
But she
they.
wanted to be with her kids basically, so that's another reason why she was wanting to run away. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's kind of like that's the feeling. Her kids are still getting out of the situation if you
Yeah.
look at it like that. So that makes sense. And this does feel like a constant, like, chaotic thing. This was something that just blew up. Like, this is a ticking time bomb.
Yeah. Mhm.
I swear I keep hearing EVPs in the background there.
What
Gonna
is
have to
that?
listen. EVPs, electronic voice phenomenon.
Oh,
I don't know if
really?
it's coming from you, if it's feedback, or if it's really EVPs. I'll have to re-listen. Sometimes people hear it in my videos. It's interesting. But it feels like it's coming from your end, so I don't know.
I'm gonna have to really listen to it.
Yeah. Okay, she's blowing kisses and stepping back into the light. I mean, I really feel like you have an area. Honestly,
Yeah.
I
Just
really
definitely
do.
needs to get searched.
It seems like it's I mean, she's, if I'm understanding it right, and you're saying it's all there. I've never been to that area. I've never seen that area. Hopefully.
Yeah. Yeah. Hopefully there's somebody. Somebody can just go do it. Go look. And I'm sure there will be. everybody's so lost right now. Like, where do we look? For the simple fact
It's
that
almost like I
nothing has
feel like,
came out, nothing from law enforcement or anything.
well, that's because of where they're at. That's what I'm saying. Like, he knows he feels like he's gonna get away with it because of where he's at, the laws and everything. So he's not even worried about it. He didn't
Yeah.
even really like take her far or anything because of that. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
He's not worried about it. I hear the word accident, so it's almost like she will be found accidentally, and that could even be someone searching for her, but they stumble across her. Okay.
Yeah.
Like it might be. Well, the light just went off. It's getting like two situations like mixed together because of the bedroom at some point. I think that might be where that original assault. I mean, she was assaulted a lot, so
Yeah.
it's hard to say, but the major one, it might have started like, I don't know. I just kept getting referenced like the bedroom for some odd reason. I have no idea why.
So that blue light behind you that kept going on up above, how does that one come on? Just like spirit
Spirit has
turns
to
it.
touch it.
Oh, it has to be touched. Oh wow.
Yeah, it's like those little flashlights that you turn, you either touch it or turn it. All those ones, I mean, everything's on, but they keep. I kind of fixed it to where maybe she could touch it a little bit easier. But yeah,
Wow.
and I would pay attention to when it was going off too. Basically, what these cards are saying was like, I pulled the kidnapped card, but that can be like because she was set up. I pulled the firearm card, which I don't know. I just feel like I'm like back of the head. I'm not sure if he used one though. I don't know. 'Cause I don't. Sometimes I see that when that happens, and I'm not really seeing that per se. It didn't mean it doesn't. It didn't mean it didn't happen. You know what I mean? Like, there's definitely there could be multiple things involved in this because there's a lot of violence here.
Yeah.
Because yeah, there's a lot of violence here. I don't know, this just feels like super freaking violent to me. Like, you know, and I was wondering about fire. Basically
Fire.
I'm getting like, yeah,
So there's been
I was seeing that earlier, but I wasn't. It's one of those things that's like,
so yeah, that fire has been a big thing right now because one of the areas that was searched, like right before, or was announced they were going to search it, it caught on fire and it was arson. Then, like a couple days later, whatever, he was heard saying, I'm going to go burn my house down. Next thing you know, 30 minutes later, his whole front yard's on fire. And he was only cited for it. And then now, a week after that or whatever, his storage unit. I mean, it's still under investigation, hasn't officially been confirmed it's his storage unit, but the word around town is his storage unit was caught on fire also. So yeah, there's been multiple fires now around this whole thing as
yeah,
well.
I was seeing that and I was like, because I didn't really see it to like her body. So it was kind of like, why am I seeing fire? So, okay, that card's just validated that for me. I know I should always say stuff, but sometimes I question things and I shouldn't.
And
How
there's
close was
also
that? How close was that area that was going to be searched set on fire? It could just be a red herring, but
how close was it to what?
to where we're talking about.
I think it was fairly close. I'm pretty sure it
Okay,
was fairly close.
that's interesting. So we have missing,
Yeah.
kidnapped, and rope. So that could be again. It can be like cards aren't always literal. Okay, so kidnapped is because like she was set up. She was like kind of in a way against her will. Poison. I got the poison card. So poison is like a poison situation too. Okay. I can take it as that. It's not always literally poison, but sometimes it's like this whole situation was poison. It was toxic. So sometimes I tend to pull that for that situation. We have drugs and poison as well, which we know that there's that around the situation. And cards also are things around the situation too. So the firearm came in and then another toxic food shortage. So that's, I always take kind of the toxic food and food shortage as also narcotics or the D's or whatever you want to call them.
Yeah.
We have shot, weapon, deceased, unconscious. Knife, sharp object, alive, escaped, hijack. So I feel, not that she's alive now, but I feel like she tried to escape in some way. And again, she was going to escape. Like, she was trying to leave. So I'm taking it as that. Like, at some point
Yeah.
she tried to escape and she was hijacked, kidnapped, which is when she was set up. Natural object missing, poison again. So very poisonous situation that keeps coming in. Red rum, and then fire.
Yeah.
So that, I mean, that's kind of, that's how I'm taking those cards. And sometimes I like the cards because they get things I don't. Like the fire. Well, I was getting it, but I didn't want to say it, and then I saw it. I was like, okay, that card goes because I'm getting that, and Rachelle, you need to say it. Because it doesn't matter if I question it or not, it always ends up being relevant, but
Yeah.
I'll sit there and, like, think about it. You know, do I say this? Do I not say it? But I don't mean to do it. I just naturally do that. So saying that, you're saying that the other fire was really close to where we're talking about. It can also be like a red herring to throw people off.
Yeah.
Or they got too close.
Yeah, because it was like, I don't know, like there's a bunch of groups and they were announcing like, hey, we're gonna do searches over here, blah blah blah, and like the day before they were supposed to search an area, it ended up catching on fire. So, and then his property, not his house specifically, but his whole like front yard and.
What the heck? I mean, right there. It's right there. The first 3 cards I pulled is right there. But hold on.
My phone's been blowing up. Where's the video? Where's the video?
Be patient, people. Be patient.
Right?
There's also something coming in, like, about his past, as far as, like, maybe being abusive to other women or other situations about that as well that's coming in. So there might be stories about it, or somebody.
When this first happened, a big story came out about his brother that apparently was abusive to his girlfriend, and that girlfriend apparently offed herself on the property. But because of it being an Indian reservation, it was considered a suicide. No investigation into it, but nobody believes it was really.
Is he? I knew I was gonna pull that card. See? Oh my god! I don't know. I need to stop pulling cards with the outfit. All right. So we have family dynasty. Okay. Terrorism, which I always pull that card when I'm like, somebody's a freaking terrorist in some way, shape, or form. Spouse, partner. Those are the first 3 cards. Reptilian. So snake in the grass, reptilian energy. Accomplice, partner in crime. Surprised I didn't pull the female card, but still we got an accomplice in there. Royalty, you said they were part of the tribe in that way, you know, so they would be considered that. Law enforcement, he may have connections to law enforcement, or law enforcement might know or be hindering the situation. Devil, because he is. Con man, because he is. False person, I'm taking that as like he might be trying to blame other people, or also like he's not who you think he is in the long run. Like, he was a very false person when he met her. He pretended to be somebody else. Thief, feel like he's a thief. Not only did he steal her life, but allegedly, but he's a thief in other forms. I feel like there's some kind of past there. Rival, because they were in a rival, you know, over everything that was going on. Serial killer energy. So not necessarily that he's unalive to other people, but he carries that energy of someone that could, and has no conscience or anything about it. Okay.
Yeah.
Very psychopathic tendencies. I kind of get the idea of like I'm trying to like explain like his energy. It's almost like, have you seen those and I'm not how do I explain this? It's just a very angry, violent person, and almost like those really rough, tough gang members like you would see. Like, that's how the energy I'm picking up on. So he comes as a good guy. And that's how he's trying to portray, like, I had nothing to do with this, blah, blah, blah. Hiding out. This was a literal assassination. And giant. You said he was 6 foot. So that's also why I was pulling that out. Male and family.
Yep.
So, I mean, those cards kind of speak
Makes
for
sense.
themselves about. Oh, wait. I have another. I'll pull those other ones too and see if I pull. Does he have a past of stealing things?
Yeah, I've heard it. Yeah.
Because we have burglar again with thief, so I feel like there's something there in his past. Other people involved. Terrorist again, because that's what he is. Look at this. Mother and friend. So
whoa,
she's probably friends with mother. I'm pretty sure she was friends with mother at some point. So that's how I'm taking it. Those came in together. Okay.
Wow.
I'm gonna leave that there.
That's crazy.
I like when my cards validate things and give me just a little extra.
Right?
I mean, you can't even get more direct than that, but.
Wow, that's crazy.
Do you know about any power supplies over there?
Power supplies?
Yeah, like either those things that like these things that run across the road. I pulled this card twice. I accidentally pulled it when I was pulling with the one that says these little things.
What are those? Like the big tower ones?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Because I pulled that twice.
Interesting.
Because I accidentally pulled it when I had the cards mixed up, and then I pulled it again. Okay.
That's interesting. I'm gonna have to try to look on a map and see. But there's when you're driving along the freeway, there's those just in the middle of a field. You know what I mean? As you're driving. So yeah, I want to say there's some right around that area as well.
Is there any water around there in the area anywhere?
Yeah, there's a creek.
Okay, because I don't have a creek card, so I pulled the river card. So,
well, yeah, it's called Clear Creek, but it's a river.
Okay.
Wow.
Okay, so power supply, outside, desert, which sandy area, because it's like wooded and desert together, so it's like kind of dirty, dusty, but wooded. Kind of, and then river, but I don't have. It could be river, creek, just flowing water. The church, I don't know why that's coming in. There's a church around, like that could be the cross I was getting, but I was kind of getting like the old style burials too. Underground, portal. I always get the portal card like when they're like vanished. Home, the home card, so reference to of the home. Fire again. Neighborhood, private property, and crossroads. So could just be next to private property, but also this happened on private property, but also it's not far from private property. So crossroads could be like what I was talking about, even like the split off right there.
Yeah.
Too. So those are for the location.
Wow.
I was going to ask you about a creek too, but it just felt so dry when I was doing the reading because I was kind of getting that. So that's interesting that you're saying there's one by there.
Yeah. Yep. So, very close by.
That one flew out. I don't know why I keep getting fire, and now the burned card is coming out. So did he try to burn the body? Is it because it's burned by where she's at? I don't know.
Huh. That's
because the burn card just flew out.
Whoa.
Yeah. Okay. That's validating right there. What the hell? Why am I getting burned again?
No. I don't know. It makes sense though.
Because get this, burned public area because there's a public area close by there, right? Stored. Talked about the storage unit. Maybe she was stored there for a little bit and then moved. Very possible he was trying to destroy evidence. Sexual intentions, which obviously he probably had at some point. Outside city, because I think this area is outside the city, right?
Yep.
Underground, proper burial. That could be why I'm getting like that. Inside, work. The work card is there. Public building and burned again.
Wow.
So
yeah, it makes sense.
Just saying.
It definitely makes sense. Yeah,
Right.
they have got to check around that casino back in there.
Because that just validated my whole area, I think.
Yep. 100%.
These are like the situations, like what was going on surrounding it. Curious what cards I'm going to get here, because when I was getting like set up, like sometimes they'll show me like the card that I have for something. Like they've started using cards in my visions now as a symbolism. It's interesting. They didn't do that before, but now that I have the cards, they have something they can show me as a symbolic thing. So it's really interesting. Okay. Yeah, so he may have, depending on when that storage unit was, I'm curious now, like if he like stored her there and then moved her later. And that's why he burned it, was to destroy the evidence in there. Because it takes a lot to burn a body. Doesn't necessarily mean that he didn't like also try to burn her, like, you know what I mean, at some point. Mm-hmm. It's very possible. That could be why I kept getting like the fire in my head too, and then
yeah, because as of right
I
now,
needed to validate it, so I would say it.
Yeah, as of right now, there's like 2 fires linked to him.
Crazy. He's psychotic, and I don't think
excited for. Huh?
I said the guy's crazy. He's psychotic, and I don't think like he was always putting off that energy. So that's why I'm saying like 2 people, but like 2 different people.
Yeah, definitely.
The D's have like fried his brain.
Yeah.
Do you know if there's a J anywhere? First, middle, or last?
Like the letter J or J?
Yeah.
J.
The letter J.
The letter J.
Yeah.
His mom's name is Jeanette.
Okay. I was just seeing J. So ugly chills again.
Yes.
And is there an A? First, middle, or last? Or it could be like street or area or anything too. Just like fits how it fits. If not, just hold on to it.
I don't.
Yeah. Yep. they all are validating. Okay. See? Oh, where's that? Okay. All right. So we have justice. That's the very first card I pulled.
Good.
Distraction. Okay, so there's been distractions in this case. Obviously, his stories. I guess I should get up here. The fires, all that. Top secret, there might be some classified information that law enforcement has, but there's a strategy to it because the strategy card comes in after that. We have a gift here, so there might be a gift in some way, shape, or form that we're given in regards to. Whenever I get that card, it can be like a gift of a body or a gift in some way that's going to lead the case into the right direction. That's how I take that card. We were trying for a long time to figure out what that card meant, but protection, in a way, he's being protected, and all this is because of the legalities of going, into that area. False flag. I feel like he's thrown up a lot of false flags, obviously. War, there was a war between them, right? Sex, obviously. Exposed. So he will be exposed at some point, but there was also the abuse that was exposed by him going to court. Demonic possession. Because I feel like, again, he changed, snapped, all that. Crime of passion, which is basically any type of situation this is a crime of passion. Incoming message, so that can be, what we talked about as far as, come meet me here, come do this. Like, there's an incoming message at some point. Intoxication, I feel like that's what I was saying. I think he could have been either high or under the influence of something, but I have the intoxication card. Dating, I mean, they were still together allegedly, for the most part, kind of. Fired, but so they were dating but fired, so she was leaving him, breaking up with him. That's how I'm taking those cards. They come in together. The travel card, if the car was put 30 miles away, that's traveling to another location. Rumors, there's lots of rumors going around in regards to this. But there's a confession, so I don't know who he's going to confess to or how that's going to come about, but there's a confession card. Usually when I pull that, there usually has been in the past. Sad. Truth comes out. So that's what I'm saying. There's some good cards. Justice, truth comes out, all that. Perversion. I feel like he was kind of a pervert in that way. We have abuse, neglect card. We have evil. Okay. Stalking. And that kind of came in where I was like obsession, dark desires. Like I feel like he was stalking, watching, like things she was doing. We have unseen danger, because obviously if anybody thought he was going to do something like this, allegedly, that's unseen. I mean, people probably thought it, she probably thought it, but in the long run, like, it was unseen in a way.
Yeah.
Gaslighting, she was being gaslit. Solved, the solved card is there. So those are positive cards in regards to how this could end up. I don't know when, but
Yeah.
I'm getting 5, so I don't know if that's like 2025, 5 months, 5 years. I'm not sure. Power, or the 5th, I don't know. Secret trip, so again, taking the car somewhere else. Cybercrime, there might be some like stalking online or online stuff. I'm not sure. Paper trail communication, so there could be a paper trail of some sort of communication with somebody at some point. Legal proceedings, they were in legal proceedings. Okay, that was basically what caused all of this, is she couldn't go testify anymore. So, and there's the work card again.
Yeah.
So work seems really relevant. Witness, so we know that if there was an accomplice, possibly a witness as well. Lies, affair, which is what I was asking, because there's an affair card there, and I don't know which one it would be, if it's him or what. But drama, obviously. There was a warning, but she had a warning, but you know how those that goes. The warning was, again, this happening and everything happening, but I also feel like he warned her in some way. Like there was warning signs, red flags. Egotism, he's full of ego. Soul contract, unfortunately, it's a soul contract they made. Alarm, so something about the time. So I usually take this. There might have been also, you can take it as like something that happened that was alarming, but I usually take it as a time card. DNA, I mean, we talked about that. Explosive is something explosive that happened. Struggle. Digital evidence, which I find interesting because we talked about that. Mental health and mental health, secret, and corruption. So, in some way, shape, or form, he is kind of being protected, whether that's just because of where he put her or where it happened or any of that. But there could be also other type of corruption too.
Oh yeah.
Unfortunately,
definitely.
Everybody makes money if he's making money, kind of thing. If that makes sense.
Yep.
I hate to even say that, but
no, it makes a lot of sense. A lot. The tribal is like the ones that fund the police and the DAs and all them. So that's why people believe a lot of cover up and not really doing much with it because they don't want to
It's
lose their
there.
money.
Yeah, it's there. Unless there's a way for somebody to take over in some way, shape, or form, like maybe if they find her or something like that, like, if FBI, I don't know how they do it, how
Yeah.
law enforcement can get called in, but if law enforcement gets called in, then
Everybody's
it
been
might
writing to try to get FBI.
uncover more. So, um,
Yeah, that all makes sense.
okay. I lost her. I'm going to continue on because I've been at this for quite a while. And if she comes back, I'll put her back up here. So we have physical evidence on the run because he's obviously, not necessarily meaning like he's running per se, but he's out and don't take it literal. You know what I mean? Argument that validates the reading. Alcohol, again, money involved. DEA, that all came in. Evidence, government, affair, again, jail. So I don't know if that's past or future. Phone, investigation, and self call message. So there might be some a phone call, a message, or something of that sort that is also being investigated, but also is important. So a ping or something like that. We have the guilty card and FBI. So I don't know if FBI is going to get called in at some point, if there's the right amount of evidence, or if things shift and change. One can only hope. But I was thinking about the FBI and I pulled that card. So I find that kind of interesting.
Like the screen went dark and then it just shut off. I was like, what the heck? And it's been plugged into the charger the whole time I've been sitting here. So I don't know why.
We'll take that as a sign. You can listen whenever you listen back. I just finished the cards that I pulled because I was like, I don't know how long it's going to take her to get back. So I just went ahead and pulled those cards. It basically reiterated stuff we already got.
That was so weird.
I don't think it's weird.
That it shut off?
Especially what we were talking about. Yes?
Yeah. But no, I've literally had it plugged in this whole time sitting here, so I don't know why it would just shut off. It's probably dead,
Spirit works through electronics.
Yep. I'm excited. I appreciate you doing this. I hope she gets found rather soon.
Those are a lot of positive cards for something happening, even if it's in the future. So
yeah.
I don't know. I got the FBI card. I don't know if they can step in at some point. It could happen. So I was thinking about that, and then I pulled the card. So I found that kind of interesting.
Yeah. I know that people in the community have definitely been asking for the FBI to step in. There's word that the marshals are involved now, but once again, it hasn't been confirmed because
I think they're doing it quietly because I also feel like there's more that can be brought down because I pulled the DEA card. So there's more that can be brought down in terms of this, not just her.
Interesting.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, that makes sense. Yes. Yeah,
I hear network, there's a whole network of things that could be brought to light in regards to this in the long run. So
yeah, that makes sense. And it's been very, very hush hush on law enforcement side. I don't think they've even released one statement.
Yeah. That's because they might be trying to figure out how to go about this, especially if they think there's corruption or there's a bigger fish, you know what I mean? There's a whole network of people they could bring down.
Yep.
No shit. No shit. No shit. Sorry, all the cards I'm pulling are shit we already talked about. Okay, so there's dating of history or killer knew the victim. Multiple people involved in the crime. This case will remain unsolved until key evidence is discovered. and spontaneous behavior or mental illness contributed to the crime. Surprised I didn't get like the setup card or anything like that, because yes, there was an argument and stuff, but I feel like she was still set up to go to that location for whatever the situation, whatever the situation.
Yeah.
It was almost like a setup to put her there.
Yep. Yeah.
But there was still, I also pulled the argument card while you were gone too, so that just validated there was some sort of argument. I wasn't really going to pull these, but I'm just curious what I get, because they're kind of basically just like, if there's any other drama around it. I think that's weird. I accidentally pulled this card out when I was shuffling, and it says moving on. Thank you, next. So she was, I think, trying to move on. Again, you come across as like one of those like tatted gangbanger, rough, tough looking dude. Like that's how I kind of keep seeing him, I mean, he's obviously got native blood, but she just said white trash. Sorry. I didn't say that.
Yes.
I just said it. So
yes. Oh my gosh. Yeah, that's like spot on.
She just said it, so I just heard it. Because I was like, how do I describe him? And she said, I'm like, I don't know. But I didn't say that, so don't come at me. It wasn't me.
Good job, Nikki.
I would want to go. I wonder how far away those buildings are from like the casino, like to the end of the woods those are, because it's like I want to go in that direction. House, casino, cross, go straight, woods. I could like draw you a map. Buildings.
Yeah. And there's some lady that said there is like older abandoned buildings or something out back that way. So yeah, I'll have to see.
Keep getting reference to those like abandoned building kind of things. Yeah, these cards are validating things too. Ego. He's got a big ego. Where does like the money come in at? Because I keep pulling money cards.
I believe he receives a check like every month from just being part of the.
But did she have more money, or did he have more money, or did one of them have?
I believe he did. Yeah.
Okay. Yep. Okay. Those are straightforward. See, there's got to, I also pulled the affair card while you were gone again. There's got to be an affair around there somewhere. There has to be.
Yeah, I wonder.
Because I pulled it twice. Or twice or three times. Something. Oh, karma. Because there's another card I just pulled that's like, well, okay. I'm wondering about this right here. But this is more literal. Okay, so we have moving on. That was the one that kind of flew out. That I was like, okay, I think she's moving on. We have obsessive lover, so dangerous, toxic, unhealthy, possessiveness, karmic, all of those things. Looking you up, so again, researching, studying, stalking, like keeping an eye on her, like all that kind of stuff. Legal issues, court, judges, lawyers, like we know that was happening, and that was a big part of the situation. Inside scoop, a closer look up in her business, possibly. Running, like literally running away, like she was trying to run away at some point. Child services, kids at risk of being taken, which they were, or about to, or reporting something, neglect. So that happened in the situation. So again, the cards I pull aren't just exactly right then. It could be at any point in the situation surrounding it. Fake account. So I'm wondering if he had fake social media accounts or whatever, because pulled that card. Giving money. So again, if he's giving money, I don't know who he's giving it to, but there's an offer. There's forcer, forces things on you, forces their way, uses force to get what they want, which he did. Haunted, memories, flashback, trauma, side effects. No facts. He never had facts. He just made shit up. He lies all the time. So that's another one. Happiness hater. He did not want her to be happy in any way, shape, or form. Always partying. Hustling. So that can go with the D's and selling and all of that. Rejected. So she was starting to reject him finally. And he was upset and sad and hurt over it. Or pissed off over it, whatever. Fake smiles. She put a lot of fake smiles for a long time. Clout hungry. Creeping. He was creeping on, I feel like he was really watching what she was doing and stuff. Bad karma. Wolf in sheep's clothing. So that can even be when she met him. See, and here's the love triangle. But that can also be third party, multiple lovers and choices. And we keep getting the affair card. So I'm just wondering if there's another person involved somewhere. Like, because in groupie too. Moves in silence. And look at this card, bad habit. So these addictions, toxicities, ego, screenshot. So that could be evidence, proof, facts, anything. Then digging dirt digging. So I'm wondering if this is literally like more literal.
Yeah.
From the reading, not just like looking up dirt, but like also there's a guy with like a freaking shovel.
Yeah.
So.
I wonder.
So, I mean, all those cards kind of every card I've pulled is very validating of the situation, I think.
Yeah, definitely.
Unfortunately, Unfortunately,
Yeah.
she was just in a situation, and it's almost like the only way out was this way.
Yeah. Oh, and money. The money one, I mean, I don't know how true it is, but apparently his mom had tried to bribe her and offer her money to drop
That
the
was
charge.
the offer card. It was like,
Yeah.
there's an offer, but I don't know, like.
Yeah, apparently his mom offered her money to drop the charges and not follow through with the charges of the domestic violence.
So that's why the offer card came in. Okay. And the money too. Okay,
Yeah.
that makes sense. That makes complete sense. All right.
Wow.
Hey. Darn cat. He just jumped up here and just messed up everything. Get out of here, dude.
He wants to be part of the show.
Yes, he always comes to bug me. I think he kind of feels the spirit energy. Doesn't matter what I'm doing. When I'm over here, he has to come and drive me crazy. Ezekiel. Come on, dude. It's either him or Neo that's always over here. Stop. I see you. I see you, dude. Can I finish what I'm doing? What are you trying to get my attention for? He did this in Quentin's.
Really?
When I was looking at the landfill on the map, he was bugging the crap out of me, and we couldn't get him to leave me alone. So he was basically telling me, and I was ignoring it. Well, I didn't understand it at the time.
Yeah.
But it was happening. It happened on live. Stop, dude.
And it was the right location, right?
Yeah. Stop.
He really wants your attention.
Can you stop? You're going to have to make me edit this even more. I see you. Quit. No one wants to see your butt. Okay, I'm gonna have to kick you off. I'm trying to finish here. I'm hot. I love you, but yeah, you're all in the way, bud. He always does that. It's so annoying. I love him, but it's like in the middle of cards or pendulum or whatever I'm trying to do. It's like, well, that's it. Hang on real quick. I'm going to go ahead and thank you guys for liking, subscribing, sharing, being a part of the channel. Hope you enjoyed it. That's all I got for today.